Imagine a man whose experiments forever changed how we understand matter, and whose brilliant mind was silenced by the blade of a guillotine. This is the story of Antoine Lavoisier, the father of modern chemistry and a victim of the French Revolution. Today, I am going to tell you the life story of a man considered the greatest chemist in the history of science. A researcher who devoted his life purely out of love for knowledge. But time did such an injustice that the same man, whose research illuminated the world, was himself consumed by the darkness of politics. Antoine Lavoisier was born on August 26, 1743, in Paris. His family was prosperous, and his father was a well-known lawyer. His mother passed away when he was still young, but his grandmother and father paid great attention to his education. Little Antoine loved studying from the very beginning. He enjoyed observing earth, water, stones, and fire. Perhaps this habit of observation inclined him toward science. He studied at Collège Mazarin, which was a famous educational institution of that time. There he deeply explored the chemistry, botany, physics, mathematics, philosophy. His teacher, Gettard, immediately recognized his brilliance and said that this boy would one day change the world. After completing his education, Lavoisier also earned a law degree to honor the family profession. But the fire of science had already been kindled in his heart. In the 18th century, chemistry was filled with mythical tales and traditional beliefs. People believed water was a fundamental element. A fire released phlogiston. Matter disappeared when burned. Lavoisier resolved to transform chemistry into a science based on experiment and measurement. He built his own laboratory, equipped with precise scales, glass vessels, flame-producing machines, and instruments to measure air. It was in this laboratory that he conducted the experiments in the years to come that would change the world. The first experiment that made him famous concerned the weight of matter. He took a sealed glass container, placed metal inside, and heated it. When the reaction occurred, he measured the total weight. People believed that burning made some part of matter vanish. But Lavoisier proved the weight remains the same. The metals simply combined with oxygen to form a compound. This experiment gave birth to the law of conservation of mass, which states matter is neither created nor destroyed, it only changes form. At that time, the phlogiston theory was dominant everywhere. People believed that burning released phlogiston, something invisible and unmeasurable. Lavoisier declared it, "In science, we will accept only that which can be proven." He burned a candle inside a glass dome and carefully analyzed the air. After burning, the oxygen level had decreased, and carbon dioxide had formed. He proved combustion consumes oxygen. A phlogiston was merely an illusion. This discovery laid the foundation of combustion chemistry. For thousands of years, people believed water to be a basic element. Lavoisier decided to challenge this idea. He burned hydrogen and oxygen and created water from their combination. Then he also separated water back into two gases. This experiment proving the water is not an element but a compound of two gases. This truth was astonishing to the scientists of that era. Lavoisier was curious about what happens when living beings breathe. He placed animals inside glass chambers and analyzed the process of respiration. The results showed animals consume oxygen, and their breath produces carbon dioxide. He wrote that breathing is, in fact, a kind of slow combustion. This research was a revolutionary step in the history of biology. At that time, chemistry had no rules for naming substances. Sometimes local words, Latin, sometimes Greek. Lavoisier, together with his fellow chemists, created a scientific system of nomenclature. This is when names like oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon were established. These names are still used worldwide today. His most famous book was Elementary Treatise of Chemistry 1789. It is considered the world's first systematic chemistry textbook. He said, "The true purpose of knowledge is that it should benefit humanity." His wife, Marie-Anne Pierret-Pauls, was also a great lover of knowledge. She helped him with experiments, kept detailed records, and made scientific illustrations. It is said that without Marie-Anne, his experiments might never have been so beautifully documented. Alongside his scientific work, Lavoisier was also connected with France's tax collection agency, the firm Jean Rail. When the French Revolution erupted in 1789, the public's anger against tax collectors turned into a raging fire. During the Reign of Terror of 1703 to 1794, thousands were sent to the guillotine. Lavoisier and his colleagues were also arrested. In the spring of 1794, Antoine Lavoisier found himself standing before a revolutionary tribunal. Not as a celebrated scientist, but as a criminal in the eyes of the new republic. The charges were severe. He was accused of collecting unjust taxes from the people of France. As a member of the firm Jean Rail, the powerful tax agency, he had become an easy target for public anger. But in truth, Lavoisier's heart and mind were never concerned with wealth or power. They were wholly devoted to science. understanding air, fire, and the hidden laws that govern the universe. He tried to make the judges see reason. Calmly but urgently, he pleaded with the court. Grant me just a few days, so I may complete my experiments. The work I am doing belongs not to me alone. It belongs to France, and to all mankind. But the revolution was in no mood for mercy. The presiding judge coldly declared, "The Republic has no need of scientists, only of justice." No evidence of his scientific greatness could save him. In the chaos of revolutionary France, his achievements meant nothing compared to the cries for vengeance. Within a few short hours, the trial was over, and the verdict sealed his fate. On May 8, 1794, in the heart of Paris, Antoine Lavoisier was led to the guillotine. He was only 50 years old. 28 of his colleagues from the firm Genie Rail were executed alongside him that day. As the blade fell, it ended the life of a man who had spent decades revealing nature's most profound secrets. Among the witnesses was the mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange. He watched in sorrow and later said words that would echo across generations. "It took but an instant to cut off that head, but perhaps 100 years will not suffice to produce another such mind." Though the revolution silenced his voice, it could not extinguish his ideas. Just a few years after his death, France realized what it had lost. Lavoisier's name was cleared and his reputation as a scientist restored. His devoted wife, Marie-Anne, played a crucial role in preserving his work. She carefully compiled his notes, illustrations, and research, ensuring they would survive the upheaval. Because of her efforts, his discoveries spread far beyond France. Today, Antoine Lavoisier is honored as the father of modern chemistry. The principles he established, the conservation of mass, the true nature of combustion, and the chemical composition of water, form the very foundation of modern science. His story is a reminder that knowledge often grows from sacrifice, and that true discovery demands both courage and integrity. His life teaches us timeless lessons. The path of knowledge is never easy. A truth cannot be bowed or broken by the storms of time. A scientist's true weapons are not power or wealth but curiosity, honesty, and unrelenting dedication. Even today, when we step into a laboratory, somewhere we see the reflection of Lavoisier's spirit. His words still inspire all who seek to understand the world. Nothing is created. Nothing is lost. Everything is transformed. This is not merely the story of one scientist. It is the story of human determination and the greatness of knowledge itself.